Ever scrolled Reddit at 2 a.m. and stumbled upon something disturbing? Tonight, we're diving into 3 terrifying true stories shared by real people on Reddit. These aren't your usual ghost tales. They're the kind that crawl under your skin and stay there. Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and let's begin. Story 1. Something was living in our attic. When I was 17, I spent the summer at my cousin Jake's house in Oregon. It was a quiet place on the edge of the woods, the kind of area where your neighbors are dear, and cell signal is a myth. One night, we were watching horror movies when we heard it. Thump, 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 from above. "You guys have raccoons?" I asked. Jake shook his head. "We don't have an attic. That's just roof space up there." But the thumps continued. We turned off the TV and just listened. It wasn't random. It was walking, back and forth. The next morning, we told his dad. He went out to check the roof. That's when things got worse. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to the sound of whispering. I thought it was the TV downstairs, but when I peeked out of the bedroom, everything was off. The house was dead silent. Then I looked up. There was a small square attic hatch I hadn't noticed before, and it was open. I nearly screamed. I ran and got Jake. His dad came out, grabbed a flashlight, and climbed up with a broom. Minutes passed, silence. Then we heard a crash and yelling. Turns out, someone had been living up there. A man. Dirty, malnourished, with long hair and wild eyes. He'd been sneaking down to take food, hiding when anyone was around, and only moving at night. The police said he'd likely been there for weeks. I never slept at Jake's again. Story 2. The Man in the Corner. This happened when I was working night security at a small museum. It was an easy job. Check the cameras, walk the halls, eat snacks. But there was always one room I hated, the old photography exhibit. It had dozens of portraits from the 1800s, all of them black and white, all with staring eyes. One night, I noticed something on the camera feed, a figure, in the corner of the photography room. I switched feeds. Nothing. Switched back. He was gone. I assumed it was a glitch, until it happened again the next night. Same corner, same figure, no movement. So I went down there with my flashlight. The portraits stared at me as I walked in. Nothing looked out of place, until I checked the far corner. The wall was cold, freezing cold. Then I turned around and saw something that made me stumble back. One of the portraits had changed. The man in it now looked angrier, like his mouth was twisted into a sneer. I left the room and refused to go in there again. A week later, another guard quit. He said he saw someone standing in the reflection behind him, but when he turned, no one was there. Story 3. The Candle That Wouldn't Go Out. My mom always told me never to mess with rituals online. You never know who you're inviting, she'd say. But when I was in college, my roommate Sam dared me to try the midnight game, one of those creepy pasta rituals you find on Reddit. All you needed was a candle, paper, and your name. Easy, right? At exactly 12 a.m., we followed the instructions. Knocked on the door 22 times, lit our candles. Nothing happened for the first few minutes. We laughed it off. Then Sam's candle flickered out. "Guess I lost," he said, trying to relight it. But it wouldn't light. We both froze when the room got cold, freezing, like the temperature dropped 20 degrees. Then we heard it, knocking, from the inside of the closet. Sam ran to turn on the lights, but they were dead. The only thing glowing was my candle, and it was getting dimmer. We ended the game, as the rules said, with salt and circles and apologies. But here's the thing. My candle, it never went out. For 3 days, that little flame kept burning, even in the shower, even when we tried to put it out with water. It only stopped when we burned the paper with my name on it. I've never touched a ritual again, and I never will. Reddit is filled with creepy stories, but these felt too real to ignore. Which one gave you chills? Let me know in the comments. And if you've got a scary true story of your own, share it. Who knows? You might just be featured in the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, or the man in the corner might come visit you tonight. Sleep tight if you can.